this pain that we can feel can be unbearable sometimes. Like, it can truly feel like your world is ending, like your world is crashing down. And it sucks, and that's not a good feeling. And I think that what a lot of us end up doing in this situation and in this discomfort is just kind of engaging in the behaviors like, binge drinking and constantly surrounding ourselves with people who may not be the best influences, just like not wanting to be alone. So, lowering our standards in terms of who we want to surround ourselves with. I really think that you can be in a room full of people and still feel completely alone. And this has happened to me personally. I've heard friends tell me about this. I think it's completely normal to go through a chapter or multiple chapters of your life where you kind of analyze your friend group or the people who are in your life, and you might feel like a mismatch between you and the people that you have around you. And that's okay. But it is important to be mindful of that, check in with yourself, check in with where you want to go, where you're going, and are the people that you have around you aligned with that vision. There's a lot of peer pressure in our society, people who will just want you to engage in unhealthy things because they're probably doing them too, and they want to feel validated in doing that. They want to avoid having to have the hard conversations, having to feel the emotions, which again, I'm not even saying this in a condescending way at all. These are all things that I have myself experienced, and I'm sure it will happen again. We're all human, we make mistakes, we fall into unhealthy habits. I wish I could say that I'm always on top of my wellness and my mindfulness routine and all of that, but no, that's just not realistic. That's just not real life. So but I think in a lot of moments in my life, I've found that I had a few quality people who really brought me out of dark places, and those are the people who I know are going to be in my life for a really long time, because it's easy to be there for someone when things are going right, and often someone who's doing really well, let's say, in the way that the world views success. What the world's idea of success is typically money, status, whatever it might be, career. It's pretty easy for people to celebrate someone who's doing well, but when it comes to actually facing difficulties in life, things that are uncomfortable, things that feel shameful, disappointing, things that we're afraid to even admit to ourselves, not everybody's going to want to stick around and help you navigate that. And that can really, that can be a hard realization to make, but it can also help you to kind of distinguish the people who are meant for you from the ones who aren't. And I'd be curious to know how you navigate your friendships, and how you know that how do you know that someone has genuine intentions with you? I'm definitely curious about that. I feel like I would like to say that I have a pretty good radar on that, but I also do need time within a relationship and quality time and experiences to kind of see how the person is behaving, seeing if they're available for me when I'm going through something, if they're holding space for me. That's important. Also, not making me feel like a burden or making me feel like I'm overreacting. And yeah, just like being kind and compassionate and understanding and like calming me down. Because I think the last thing that anyone needs is to feel even more stressed out when talking to a friend about a certain issue, or like feel like, shame, like, being like, the way that I think of this is, there's moments in my life where I've made mistakes and I felt pretty ashamed and I felt pretty disappointed in myself. But the last thing I need is like for my friend to tell me that, like if I go and I tell someone I care about, someone I trust, hey, this is what happened, and then I get attacked for that, or I feel like this person is shaming me, that is like the worst thing for me, and what I really value in relationships, I'd love to know your opinion on this too, is like having the person kind of just be there for me and like love me regardless of what happened, and just be like, hey, it's okay, you made a mistake, like that's not who you are, that doesn't like determine your character and who you are as a person. And that's like what I need, like, and that's what we all need, I think, to be loved into evolution and not shamed into probably the opposite. Because when we feel shame, we can often retract back into ourselves. We can often feel like we don't want to make that mistake again, so we don't even want to put ourselves in a position that would allow us to potentially make a mistake. For example, feeling ashamed after a certain outcome in a relationship, and then not like being loved through that experience, and then learning and coming out of it healthily. You could do the opposite and actually come out of it thinking, well, I actually don't even want to open my heart up to anyone anymore, and I think this is a common thing for people who come out of relationships that didn't necessarily end well, or whatever may have happened. But yeah, I think that's really important. And yeah, so I guess to kind of like draw a connection between the relationship piece and the like overconsumption habits, I think it all kind of goes hand in hand. When we're not feeling good inside, when we're not feeling good emotionally, mentally, spiritually, we tend to search for something outward that will fill that void. Whether that be a person or a certain bad habit, but we'll always find ourselves in the same situation of just realizing that that stuff just doesn't work. It doesn't. It's a temporary fix for a very real problem. And so what I recommend to you, if you are ever going through something like this, is to sit with it and really try to like be still in that moment of chaos and remember who you are. Remember that everything is okay. You just have to be still. Be still, calm your mind, because your mind will lie to you and make you believe that the world is ending when actually everything is unfolding perfectly. And it's okay. It's okay for you to have a misstep. It's okay for you to, drink a little too much one night and regret it the next day. We're human. And it happens. Like, none of us are perfect. But yeah, I think it's important to be mindful of these things, because the world, especially in our capitalistic society, the world is not going to give you this advice because it doesn't earn them money, right? It's all just a bunch of industries and corporations just trying to keep profiting off of us, and we have to look out for each other in these moments and like look beyond the shiny things and know the truth. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share tonight. I love you so much. have a good night or day, wherever you are. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Bye!